The Strait of Hormuz uses a strict traffic separation scheme, designated deep water lanes that organize massive supertankers into an international maritime highway. In April 2026, traffic through these lanes collapsed. Averages plummeted from 129 ships to just 6, leaving this critical energy artery virtually empty. Hostile naval forces are now enforcing an active blockade, intercepting commercial merchant vessels in international waters and disregarding global maritime law. These interceptions compromise traditional safe passage zones. Commercial captains now face a choice: stop for boarding or risk physical fire from fast attack boats. Severing this choke point traps over 10 million barrels of oil per day, alongside massive quantities of liquefied natural gas and fertilizer. This bottleneck threatens to snap the stability of global supply chains. This geographic bottleneck between Qeshm and Larak Islands has been effectively converted into a military checkpoint. Ship operators seeking passage must submit to background checks and fly friendly flags, and pay a toll starting at roughly $1 for every barrel of cargo on board. For a supertanker carrying 2 million barrels, that is a $2 million fee, paid in Chinese yuan or cryptocurrency. In exchange, the captain receives a radio passcode and a military escort through the strait. These extortion fees feed an immediate inflationary shock into the global economy. Doubled and tripled bunker fuel costs raise the price of every consumer good and energy source that moves through these waters. Captains are left with a binary choice: comply and fund a geopolitical adversary, or attempt to run the blockade. In early April 2026, the crews of the Dalut, the Habut, and the Zahor all decided to defy the toll. All three were heavily laden with cargo, including highly volatile liquefied natural gas. As these ships approached the danger zone from the east, they plotted a radical navigational detour to bypass the blockade entirely. They abandoned the safety of the main deepwater channel and executed a sharp turn southward, directly toward the coast of Oman. The southern boundary of the safe traffic separation scheme is dictated by the Raycon buoy, a massive radar marker that usually keeps deepwater traffic far away from the Omani coastline. These three rogue ships are threading the gap between the buoy and the Omani landmass, squeezing entirely south of the regulated lanes. This sliver of water is largely unmonitored by standard maritime traffic control, leaving the vessels effectively blind to normal oversight. To escape the economic trap of the military blockade, these captains have traded geopolitical extortion for an untested physical loophole. The Omani shoreline consists of steep, rocky topography that drops directly into the water. These are the exact geographic conditions that deep-water supertankers are designed to avoid. Beneath the surface lie uncharted shoals and drastically shallow depths. Fulling-laden tankers sit low in the water, and their massive draft leaves them highly vulnerable to grounding. Striking a shoal while carrying millions of barrels of crude or LNG would trigger an environmental disaster and physically block the makeshift route for others. The ships cannot drift south without hitting the shoals, but they cannot drift north without re-entering the Iranian detection zone and inviting military strikes. A miscalculation of mere inches inevitably results in the loss of the ship, the cargo, and the crew. To bypass the strait, Gulf nations have discussed routing energy through massive overland pipelines to ports on the Red Sea or the Gulf of Oman. Expanding this capacity is a $20 billion project requiring years of construction across rugged terrain. It cannot address the immediate energy crisis. These routes also face extreme security risks. In a region home to numerous militias, a multi-billion-dollar pipeline can be completely disabled by a single drone strike. Because overland bypasses are slow and fragile, the global economy has no immediate safety net. Its survival depends entirely on the success of vessels at sea. Global markets and militaries are now fixated on the exact coordinates of the Dalut, the Habut, and the Zahor. If these vessels safely reach the Gulf of Oman without grounding or drawing fire, they prove a physical breakout route is viable, effectively breaking Iran's leverage. If they fail, either through an environmental disaster or military retaliation, it proves the geographic trap is sealed. The price of global energy and basic survival currently hinges on the navigational skill of merchant mariners threading a needle in the dark.